And now, it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, Corey Sandin, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with Rock Cod Rick Maxa in the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup on a beautiful Southern California day, right next to the San Diego landings in Point Loma. We have a great guest for you here today. Captain Brian Kiyohara from the American Angler is here, and we're going to be talking some serious fishing going on right now. So you stay tuned. This is Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook, YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
The reels that Southern California anglers have been waiting for are here. Shimano is proud to introduce the all-new Talica 40A and 50A reels. The Talica series is Shimano's flagship 2-speed lever drag reel. It sits at the very pinnacle of the offshore world. Shimano has increased the fishability of the larger Talica models by reducing rotational resistance at high drag and improving durability in critical positions within the reel. The all-new Talica 40A and 50A now boast Infinity Drive, which employs 2 drag washers housed on the side of the reel, allowing for an ultra-smooth, powerful drag system, while at the same time increasing winding power under a load by as much as 40%. The new Talica is built around a more compact, cold-forged machine aluminum one-piece frame. Plus, there's also a new higher high gear, built with a Southern California angler in mind. The new Talica 40 and 50A are available now at your local Shimano dealer.
Take a closer look at the Ford Bronco and Bronco Sport. You'll see adventure, discovery, and even a little mud. These 4x4s provide the muscle, tech, and durability to go anywhere. Get your ideal combination of power and capability to handle whatever comes your way with the GOAT modes. That's goes over any terrain. It's time to see Ford in a new light. New inventory has arrived. Visit your San Diego County Ford dealer to take a test drive today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. What a fun show today is. Having one of my most favorite people on the radio and today, Captain Brian, American Angler. Today's just going to be a blast, dude.
Yeah, it is. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, you guys. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you. And, boy, what's been going on in the American Angler? Some fishing, huh?
Oh, there's, for the entire long-range fleet, it's been quite the fall. It's the whole mixed bag and thing, and lately here, the talk of the town's been wahoo fishing.
Wahoo and big ones. That's been so cool.
Over the years, it's different places we see consistently bigger fish, like when they show up on the ridge. But, now it's kelp, and so a lot of times when they show up on kelps, man, they're slugs.
Okay.
They're 35, 40 pounders, and it seems like every trip somebody's coming home with 80, 90 pounders. And
that's rad.
Imagine that, Ricky, pulling up to a kelp thinking hey, let's catch some yellows right here. Then it's all wahoo, right? That would be cool.
Yeah, it's over the last 40 years, I've had the great opportunity to see loaded up kelps for just, every type of fish, big eye, whatever. But, those wahoo kelps they're pretty special.
I can imagine. Is this unusual?
No, it's not unusual. I think there's been so much traffic on the ridge and at the rocks, so much yacht traffic going up and down. It's kind of forced our fleet to go offshore, and somebody gets a little sample, and it just expands the whole puzzle.
Yeah.
And some of the guys have just had these incredible. Justin on the XL had a kelp for over 100. A few days ago. Brian Sims on the Star had one for 70. And I was telling you guys before the show started, you have a kelp for 15 wahoo.
Yeah, right.
It is a bingo.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
You're getting 50, 60 bites for those 15. And, I think in modern times, back in RP days, we used to go to Hurricane Bank on a 2-month rest. And, we would see wahoo that haven't seen a lure ever in their lives.
Right.
And so we would, see it voracious. The last trip I ran on the Royal Polaris, we had 278 wahoo in 5 hours.
Gee,
God.
5 hours?
It's just no one had been out there,
Yeah.
and they just kept coming on the bank. It seemed like so now in modern time wahoo fishing, finding a kelp that nobody's hit before, and there's a ball of them on there. It's like the stories you've heard about.
Cool. It's really cool.
Now, is wahoo commercially fished at all or not really?
There's wahoo in the market.
Yeah.
So it's
But they're caught one at a time,
Yeah.
not in a net. Or
not in the net.
it's not likely that a seiner would go over and a wrap a kelp or anything.
The seiners, I see them, because it's fishing's fishing. We're all interested in all kinds of fishing. So when they're person and they have them sacked up and they're brailing tuna, a lot of times, you would see wahoo on the net pile too. They're pulling them out, probably to fillet it and put them in the freezer and take home and stuff. So they do catch them as well.
Yeah, interesting. So tell us about the American Angler, the schedule, what's going to happen here as we head into winter.
No, we have a couple of 10-day trips coming up in December, and, they each have a couple of spots on them, by the way. And it was one of those things that, we used to do these long trips, 15-day trips and stuff in January and February, and used to expand the season. In the last few years, we haven't been doing those, and I thought about it. It's like last year we thought about it, if there's wahoo and sign of tuna on the lower banks, which there is now, it's one of those things that, let's expand the season.
Totally.
Put another one, a 10-day on. It's us and Timmy leaving on the 3rd. Tim, they leave
3rd
on
of December.
3rd of January.
Oh, that's
January.
the one in January. Okay.
The one in January.
Yeah.
And then
that's the Ken Custom Reels add-on trip.
Yeah, so
That's
I was on
cool.
the boat with Ken, and he's the best.
Yeah.
You can't get on any of his trips. Everyone wants to fish with Ken, and so he's like, "Yeah, I'll sponsor it." And so,
Forced me to go again on the American Angler.
so I think we put the minimum go at like 16, and I think we're there, and it's like 100% regular.
This trip's going.
Oh yeah,
How fun.
We're going, so it's
And still room for more.
yeah. There's room for more, and just for you wahoo fanatics, whether it's on the American Angler or the long range boat of your choice, if there's a spot, we got time.
Yeah, totally.
January, generally speaking, beautiful month, and
Sure.
January 3rd through the 13th. What a great way to start the new year.
Yeah, and I bet you everyone on their December 10 days, I bet you there's a spot or two on your favorite long range boat where, it's we're all going to die with money. You know what I mean? When it comes down, you might as well spend it. And if your gig's long range fishing, now's a good time to go.
Cool.
Yeah, definitely. So there's a couple spots maybe in December, and then of course a few spots left on that January trip on the American Angler.
So we have 3.
And then there's you talk about wahoo, but there's tuna too.
Oh yeah,
Good
they're
tuna
they're
fishing.
signing tuna. The guys are. I think Ray's first night out, he had 45 bluefin that were 80 to 230 pounds.
I was going to say on the way down, you
on,
guys have
on
just
the
been
way down
conking
and
the bluefin, right?
Yeah, yesterday on the way up, you couldn't do it because it was blowing out of the southeast 25 knots. But,
Ooh.
but it's one of those things that there's sign of yellowfin at different places.
And fish of all size in the yellowfin too, right?
Yeah. There's been fish up to into the mid hundreds down there on them lower banks.
That's cool.
When's Ray going to be back at the dock with the American
Tomorrow.
Angler? Tomorrow. All right.
Tomorrow 8 day, and then Thanksgiving, and
Thanksgiving
then
break.
The boat leaves Sunday after
Sunday,
Thanksgiving
okay.
with a couple of spots still available.
Okay, so that's a 10-day.
Yeah, 10 days.
Yeah.
So our final 3 trips are 10 days.
It's like a very civilized after Thanksgiving for the fleet. It used to be in the old days, it was like every boat was tied up with the RPMs up and the ropes barely holding them on, and as soon as the day after, everybody bailed, and now it's just, it's the day after, and then a couple of guys the day after that, and another one or two the day after that again.
When I worked for Frank, we used to leave on Thanksgiving Day.
On Thanksgiving.
I remember because I always used to work Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, I remember Rollo used to say, it's like, oh my God, the Thanksgiving special with 40 toms. We used to carry a lot of people, but historically, I remember that trip was always good wahoo
good.
fishing. I remember one trip we made soap bars, these small greenies, the best bait that you could make down there on the beach at Hippolito. And we had made several tanks of them. It was before sardines and stuff. And our next destination was Potato Bank. And I remember Loomis was driving. We got up on the shallows. And just this big old scattered out school. And Steve's there, 2 guys on the tank, start letting them have it. And so here we are throwing these lime green, fired up soap bar mackerel, 2 of us on the tank, and it was straight wahoo. And those things were it was dangerous. they're like so fired up chasing these greens that they're 30 feet out of the air.
Wow.
And I remember Loomis coming out, we all stop throwing bait. Stop throwing bait. Because it was too dangerous.
Yeah.
They were flying everywhere.
Whoa.
They were flying everywhere.
That'd be cool to
A
see.
mouthful of
That'd be
teeth
cool to
coming
see.
out.
Yeah, because
Coming
remember,
at you.
that was back when Lou Wickseye was on the Star trolling, and one flew, he was winding in his Marauder, and one flew out, and just 50 stitches later, it ripped his whole arm open.
Whoa.
Crazy.
Almost killed him.
Wow.
But
yeah.
It's been a while
that
since
happens,
we see
right?
that. Yeah, it's been a while. With all the traffic and stuff now, it's been a while since we've seen that kind of fishing. But
Well, wahoo are pressure fish, right? They don't do well under pressure.
No.
Yeah. So with all the is it mostly yachts going up and down the coast?
It's all of us.
Is it the Ponga guys coming off the beach,
it's
or the
all of
skiffs
us.
that are towing down there? It's everything.
It's all of us,
There's
and
a lot.
we're a big part of it too. There's more of us, a few more boats. Since I was on the RP, there's more long range boats, and and now everyone's navigation. Everybody's got better at what they do.
Totally.
Yeah. But the advantage that the long range boats have is they can go wherever they need to be.
Yeah, it's one of the advantages. Yeah, I think the overall advantage is just the whole camaraderie and just the whole experience. I think now people aren't as meat hungry and this and that. People are just more out to enjoy the whole experience and having a good time.
And as we go forward, there's less and less opportunities to do things. It's just the culture of people. There's not a lot of times when you get to be on your own for 10 days just focusing on something you like with people who like the same thing that you do, and you get to have dinner and you get to hang out with buds that you only get to see during that trip every year and make friends with new ones. It's a unique experience that doesn't exist in a lot of places. The world is just more fast, get in, get out, get done. And long range fishing is such a unique experience that you are centered around the thing that you like the most with another group of like-minded individuals, and you're forced to enjoy it for 10 days at a time.
It was this spring, we were at the Rocks, and I was the currents, kicked out a little too much, and got to reset. I'm all worried about it, and one of the guys goes, "Hey, Brian." And I go, "What's up, Lee?" And he goes, "Isn't this beautiful? We're the only ones here, and we're the only 30 people within 200 miles of this place. Where can you say that?
Anywhere.
Up in Montana, you can't even say that.
Totally.
It's just
Totally.
And it put things in perspective. It's I'm worried about the current being 20 degrees too kicked out. Whereas, in perspective, it's we're here by ourselves.
Yeah, totally.
This is beautiful and just...
That's awesome.
And a beautiful place, the middle of the ocean, with all
just
kinds of life and
with good people. And it's just here.
No, long range fishing is pretty special. There's nothing like it.
It's been very fortunate in my life.
That's right.
So when's Brian running the boat again?
December.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You're
last
on 10
one,
days,
yeah.
the last one in December? Yeah. All right.
I enjoy
Just
it.
before Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoy the challenge, yeah.
Yeah. And then Ray will be on the trip, the new Ken trip in January
Yes.
3rd?
Yeah.
All right. quite a team. Well, as you can hear, we have a great show lined up for today. A lot to talk about here on Let's Talk Hookup, right?
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, so much fun stuff going on, and the great fishing.
Phones are packing up quick.
Yeah, the great fishing that's going on right now, an incredible season, and just a great friend of the show and of sport fishing. It's just going to be a lot of fun. And if you want to join us, man, we'd love to hear from you this morning. Give us a call if you'd like to join us on the Fan at 833-288-0973. That's the phone number here reaching us at Let's Talk Hookup this morning. Again, 833-288-0973. Also, you can text the show, a very fun option of Let's Talk Hookup. You can text in your questions, and that's only available through the Let's Talk Hookup app. We say it every week. It's a free download. It's such an easy way to listen to Let's Talk Hookup and take it in, and it's the only way to text in your questions. As soon as you fire up the app, you'll see all of the options that exist. Listen to the show live, call in the show, and the text the show option. Just click that. When you do send in your question to Brian, make sure you include your contact info. Just a name and a phone number is all we need, because you might be the big winner at the end of the show today. And man, we are giving away such a cool prize. It's going to go to one lucky caller or a texter. As always, that's going to be decided by a coin flip at the end of the show, whether the prize will go to one of the selected callers or one of the selected texters. And today, somebody's going to win a full day trip on board the Mission Belle to go fishing with Captain Cameron out of Point Loma Sport Fishing. And you're going to win a 2026 Bill Varney CCA calendar that are now available at local tackle shops, or you can get them on his website, which is surffishtackle.com. How cool is that?
I know you're very close with Cameron, and how's he doing with the Mission Belle?
Cameron's doing excellent.
Yeah,
with the Mission Belle. You know, Steven,
taking it to new levels, right?
Yeah, Steve and those guys. You know, Steve is the most intelligent captain that I know. He's a fantastic fisherman, and you know, Cameron's just keeping it up.
Yeah,
that's rad.
Yeah,
doing a great job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of getting it ready for the next season.
Yeah, I just saw him pull in on his lobster skiff.
Yeah, is he going to do some trips? You think in the winter? Or is he just kind of wait till the?
Yeah, you know, I don't know his plan. I think he was talking about maintenance and all his plans. You know, he did a lot of maintenance to the boat last year, and
the boat looks great.
Spiffied it up, and so it's getting better that way all the time. You know, and so I think he's just going to be ready for the yellowtail springtime push.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, if you want to win a trip to go fishing with Cameron this spring or summer, just give us a call, 833-288-0973. There's only one line left, but Jeff is standing by at the Fan for you, for sure.
Yeah, no surprise there. Hey, when we come back, we're going to be taking your phone calls, reading those texts, and having a whole lot of fun with Captain Brian Kiyohara. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California's sport fishing voice, on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook and YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
Captain Jamie Tennis from Seasoned Sport Fishing here. For the past few seasons, a dart-styled metal jig has come into play in a big way for tuna offshore or even rockfish down deep. AFCO's crossbreed jig has quickly become the go-to for many since it came onto the market. AFCO's crossbreed jig is good to go right out of the package with a 4X treble hook, heavy-duty split rings, West Coast colors, and sizes 60 gram to 120 gram. Pick one up today at your local tackle store or learn more on AFCO.com.
Turner's Outdoorsman, Southern California's #1 shooting, hunting, and fishing tackle retailer since 1971, is right in your neighborhood. Now with stores throughout Southern, Central, and Northern California. No one does it better. Turner's Outdoorsman brings you the best prices and selection, plus a knowledgeable staff that will help make your day on the water or in the field more fun. Stop by your neighborhood Turner's Outdoorsman. To find a location nearest you, check the web at turners.com and sign up for special deals and more.
Inside information is everything when it comes to catching fish in Southern California. You need a code group to connect with what's happening on the water. FishDope.com is your code group. Inside information available at your fingertips 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane, along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. They become your code group. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Catine, 365 days a year. FishDope.com has online planning tools, temperature and chlorophyll charts, hot bite icons, and more. Take it from me, if you don't have FishDope.com, you're not part of the in-the-know crowd. Membership is affordable and good for an entire year. Plus, use the special code and save $30 on a new FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
A top fleet and some superb fishing is what Seaforth Sport Fishing in Mission Bay is all about. With free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, it's no wonder Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limits, El Gato Dos, Pride, Tribute, Pacifica, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth, Sea-Watch, and San Diego offer the finest half and full day trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or regular open party schedule, check seaforthlanding.com. Run by fishermen for fishermen in Mission Bay.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time. Well, that sure didn't take long to fill up those phone calls.
Yeah.
Everybody's excited to talk to Brian. Again, if you want to get your chance, we're going to have a lot of fun talking fishing, talking American Angler today. 833-288-0973 is how we do it.
And also, if you want to text the show only through the Let's Talk Hookup app. Let's go ahead and jump into the phones.
Gene from Long Beach is going to get us started here on Let's Talk Hookup this morning. Gene, thanks for calling.
Good morning, guys.
What's up,
Morning.
Gene?
Good morning. Hey, I had the privilege to fish with Brian and Pete back in the day on the Royal, and also Tim and some other guys. But, Brian, it was funny the other day I ran into Johnny Takata at Walmart, which was really funny. But I used to fish with you guys back in the day. It was a really good time. My question to you, Brian, also is about your lobster season. I'm kind of curious how's it going, and also on the pricing of the lobster compared to last year.
You know, Gene, when you called, I immediately thought of you and wondered how you're doing lobstering, because I know you love it. You know, for us, we're catching them pretty good. But the whole overall world economy and talks of tariffs and this and that, our price is at an all-time low, lower than we've gotten in 20 years.
Like half of what it has been.
Yeah,
in the past.
like it hasn't been this low for over 20 years plus. Wow. Yeah, for the first 15 years that I did it, we got paid $7.50 a pound every year, and then there's been years over the last 20 where we've opened for $20 a pound.
Yeah.
But with the whole overall world economy and uncertainty, you can kind of see it. And so the price is less. Fishing's still good, Gene, and I don't know if it's because after 35 years we're getting better at catching them, or it's just, the whole overall, like I was talking to Pete about Hoop, and he said it was fantastic the other night. So that's pretty much been the common theme up and down the coast.
Yeah. And we have to have a hats off to the Department of Fish and Wildlife for doing a good job of managing that resource.
Yeah, all the guys are talking about MPAs and having to, but it's like everyone, sport guys, commercial guys, we measure every one.
Yeah.
And so yesterday, it's the average trap I was pulling up, you'd catch 1 to 3 a trap. Of course, there's plenty of blanks, but for the three banger, you call it, it's like you're throwing 15 lobsters over the side that you're measuring.
Measuring.
That are right there.
Right,
so
close,
it's Fish and Wildlife has done a fantastic job at managing that fishery.
You fished lobsters for a lot of years. Do you see cycles just like fishing where it's just flat out better some years than it is others?
Absolutely.
And is there anything to that? Is it this set of conditions happened in the off season, so we know it's going to be a really good one, or
depending upon the water temp has a lot to do with it, but it's nowadays fishing's gotten easier, or I shouldn't say easier, but it's gotten a little bit more predictable just because of our weather forecasting and surf forecasting. Like you and Pete can figure out which day you want to go out into the bay already. It's like, not Tuesday. Oh, maybe Thursday we'll go. And so by being able to do it, you find yourself wasting less times because you're not out there in tough conditions.
You're maximizing your time in the most productive time.
And that goes with all fishing, I think.
Sure.
Yeah. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call
Gino.
this morning. And we've got a great text here. If you want to text us, it's only available on the Let's Talk Hookup app. Go ahead and text the show. You have a chance to win that full-day trip on the Mission Bella and that Bill Varney calendar. Good morning. It's from Tom in Northern California. Great show. Never caught a wahoo. Do you need any special equipment or leaders to catch a wahoo?
We have them all on the boat, but live bait leaders, wire leaders, and all the wahoo garb. If you come down, Tom, especially if you came down the day before and hung out with Rick in the tackle shop, it's like It's like all you want.
Wahoo gear too is something that a lot of we hear the question on Let's Talk Hookup a lot. I don't know if I'm going to go on that 10-day trip. I don't even have a rod and reel to catch a wahoo with. I would bet a high percentage of us all have a yo-yo jig yellowtail outfit, and 90% of the times, like all of the attributes that you want in a good wahoo outfit are the same thing that you would catch a yo-yo jig. You know, I mean, literally the same outfit you'd yo-yo up a yellowtail to Coronado Islands with is often a perfect outfit for wahoo fishing. So I would bet that, just like Bryce said, I'll bet he does have the right rod and reel in his garage, or something that'll work just fine. And again, like Bryce said, don't let the tackle be what scares you away from a trip like that these days. I mean, there is so much good stuff between gear on the boats or trips that go that provide some extra gear, or the level of quality of rental tackle that's available at the landings now. Like, gear is just no longer something that should stop a guy from going.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of gear, I mean, the morph of different types of gear, you talked about it, how much better we are getting at catching things. What seems to be the hot stuff for wahoo right now? Is it trolling? Is it live bait? Is it all the above? Is it single wire? Is it multi-strand wire? I mean, what's the best thing?
The whole overall thing with wahoo fishing is just having the opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, it's like tuna fishing where everyone's going to Cortez Bank and they've been there for 2 weeks. After a while, you figure out light line, small hooks, that type thing. Whereas wahoo fishing's a little different. It's more the opportunities that happen. Like the guys on the XL that had that kelp for 100. Pretty much all
That's biting.
All you had to do is have a pair of extra tufts.
Yeah, you had to be there.
And a couple of tags, and you know, it's more opportunity.
Yeah.
Involved.
So, what's your favorite way to fish them? On a bomb, casting a surface iron, cast a fly line and a bait with a wire? What's your favorite way?
I just like watching the people get them and the excitement over it. But you know the overall thing for wahoo on a kelp, where if you're hitting it first and it's virgin and it's a bomb, because they tend to eat them on the sink, and they're always all wired up and this and that. And as you go back up to the kelp, maybe the second or third time, that's maybe when you get your old Raider out or your Chrome 6X Junior and you straight tie with 50-pound mono. Something a little bit, more touchy type gig. And bait down below right now, it's kind of a catch-22, because when we pull up to a kelp, we don't use any bait.
Okay.
Because if there's any Dorado at all, if you throw one sardine in the water, it's like turning on a light switch.
Really?
It's like we can pull up to a kelp that has wahoo, but it's loaded with Dorado, and it's jigs only.
Okay.
Really?
Nobody use a live bait. Don't throw any chum or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And, guys are hooking a few Dorado on the sink, but they're all just lazily cruising around this and that, and it's...
But if you throw a sardine, that fires them up.
Yeah, and there's times like, okay, no wahoo on this, but we could use a few Dorado, and then we go back up to the kelp. You throw 5 baits in the water, it's like turning on the light switch, and it lights up like an electric rainbow, because they all get fired up and zipping all around. Next thing you know, everyone's got one. They're in the corner, that whole gig.
And that's on a kelp that you would potentially already hit for...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and so it's... the Ken Corwins of the world, they love fly lining on either 100-pound fluorocarbon and a circle hook, or a real light, light wire type gig.
That's cool.
Well, if you've ever wanted to catch a wahoo, which is a lot of people out there, this would be the year to do it.
Right now,
December,
it seems
January. I mean, it's time.
Seems like there'll be the opportunity, like we talked about.
It's sure as good as I've ever got to see it. And you said it best. I mean, there's sprinkled spots amongst just about every boat in the fleet right now. And we're coming into a time of year when it's maybe the easiest, at least for some industries, to get to sneak away a little bit. There's often not a ton of business that happens in between Christmas and New Year's, or in between Thanksgiving and Christmas, or after. I mean, this is a really good time to get to sneak away. And if you can find a trip that encompasses a weekend or maybe 2 weekends, all of a sudden you're not looking at taking that much time off of work. It's a really good chance to put everything together to go get onto what has been just one of the best falls in a long time.
For sure. Well, let's jump back on the phones. One line did open up. You want to get through 833-288-0973.
John's calling us from Colorado Springs this morning. Good morning, John. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, guys. Brian, my question to you is, if you only had 2 setups, what would those setups be, the rod and the reel? Would it be a single speed or a 2-speed?
And is this for wahoo fishing?
Wahoo fishing, yes.
Yes, it's a 40-sized reel with 50-pound monofilament, and a 7-foot stiffer action rod would probably be my go-to jig rod, and probably just your standard live bait 30-pound outfit with a wire leader would be your bait rod.
The beauty of it is, like you say too, it's not a super tech savvy thing. What
everybody's got wahoo gear.
I believe that. I really do. Anybody that's got the interest of going on that trip, you've got
if you have yellowtail gear, you have wahoo
If
gear,
you go on a day and a half trip, you got plenty of gear.
And that doesn't mean that you can't get ultra tech savvy in this special reel, but like you've got plenty in your garage right now that's going to catch you a wahoo just right. I'm certain of it.
Buy a little wire. Couple of bombs, you're good.
Go have some fun, man.
Yeah,
nothing like it. That's a fun one for sure. Well, I had a fun text question from James in San Diego, and it just wants to talk about, Brian, in the old days of fishing on the Royal Polaris, was the technique used for catching wahoo any different than it is in today's modern era?
No. It's exactly the same, and it's one of those things that we had. It's the grass is always greener. We all want what we don't want, what we don't have, but back then on the 17-day trips, wahoo was just purely entertainment.
Okay.
It's what we did in between tuna bites. And, because back then, the gear wasn't as good for catching big tuna. So it was one of those things that we had many regulars that would 10 years in a row come out on a 16-day trip and still not have a fish over 100 pounds.
Really?
Yeah, it just, they were tough to come by. Sure. We didn't have big bait. We had anchovies, and to be able to fly on an anchovy on a 6.0 with 80 pound, it's like not everybody could do it.
Yeah, sure.
And we would catch caballito or we would catch salamis, but we only had a limited amount. Where we'll put them out at daylight and we'll put them out in the evening. So the rest of the time we didn't have the bait. So
just fishing anchovy.
We would troll wahoo. And so we would come back in before limits. We'd come back every trip with 200 to 400.
Crazy.
But we'd only come back with 70 tuna just because sometimes they were too big and we'd hook them and lose them all, or or we didn't have the techniques. It wasn't until 2-speed reels, using the rail, kites, chunks, and sardines.
You've seen all of it. You got to see the short rod and a 6.0 or a 9.0 and a big back harness, and you get to see now, like, what piece of gear was the biggest difference? Was it
sardines?
The Spectra? It was the
sardines.
Bait over everything.
Sardines is what opened the avenue, but the whole Spectra and the whole 2-speed thing. What the 2-speed reels and the longer rods, it enabled everybody.
Okay.
If you can walk around the block, if you can walk a mile, whether you're 12 years old, female, male, whatever, if you could walk a mile, you can land a 300-pound tuna.
That's rad.
On the gear. Whereas back when it's single-speed reels, it was mostly men, older, that have old man strength.
Right.
It's like I'd help them around the corner or underneath the anchor, and it's incredible that these guys could put that kind of pressure for so long.
Right.
There were times like I remember specifically times like where we'd have these giant big cows hooked on an international 80 with 100-pound, but single speed.
Yeah.
And they'd get straight up and down where you couldn't turn the handle.
What are you going to do? You just
it's just a standoff.
That's crazy.
It's just like
we just take it for granted so much. If you're a guy that's my age, where the whole time you've ever tried to catch a big one, you had a button to push and wind into low gear, you just think about that. Think about fighting the fish the whole time in high. You'd never do it.
And we had guys that were innovative. The Butch Greens, Norm Weavers. The guys out were there trying to catch them. And they are the old rock cod handles. Mm-hmm. They would machine them to the handles regular. They'd put a knob on them, and they'd have these, these 12-inch extension handles where you had to turn the reel sideways to get more torque. It's incredible that some of the catches that were actually made back then on that single-speed stuff. But all the innovations in sardines, it's pretty much opened up bigger tuna fishing to the masses.
I just think it's so cool. We talked about it a little bit before the show started, but all of us that are enjoying the show right now, and you specifically, like we're living in the funnest time of getting to experience it when it was exactly as you're describing then through now. I mean, it's a relatively short window of time in the grand scheme of people, taking fish out of the ocean, and we've got to see a really cool amount of change. Whether it's for better or worse, you get to decide later on, but it's pretty fun to have got to see how it was to how it is now in such short order.
Yeah, 40-something summers on the ocean. Is that a short time frame?
Yeah. I mean, for us right now, not at all, but from the hundreds of years of catching fish, it's been a pretty cool piece of it. I dig it. That's really fun.
Well, let's jump back in the phones.
How about this time we talk to Alex, and Alex is calling from San Carlos this morning. Alex, good morning. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, guys. I was curious to know, what's the furthest north you guys have ever seen wahoo? Like, what's the shortest trip you can get on to ever run into them? And then also, what would you say the max amount of rods is that you should probably bring on one of these long-range trips?
Well, it was 8 years ago. They were catching them up in Oceanside, Box Canyon. On the way home, we typically don't fish. On the way home, everyone's broke down and it's a travel mode. There was a time frame here a couple months ago where tuna fishing was kind of sporadic. Out west was real choppy. And so we trolled and looked our way up the coast because our following trip after this 8-day was going to be a 3-day. So we trolled, and we got a strike 170 miles from home, and it was a wahoo.
That was crazy.
And so I would say that's the closest that I've heard this year.
Yeah, no doubt.
But like 8 years ago, there were bingos at the Coronados and up there at Box Canyon. And I think it was about 8 years ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Remember, we lost a lot of lobster gear that year because everyone was so wahoo crazy. They were flying out of the bay through our lobster gear and chopping our stuff off pretty regularly.
That was the same year that Neil and I got our Parker together. And I remember, we got the boat on whatever day one was, and we broke it in the afternoon that we got to get the boat home. And our first fishing trip was to the Coronado Islands, and it was during the heat of that. And we didn't have a bait tank on the boat. We didn't have any kind of electronics or anything yet, and the first 4 fish that came over the rail in the Parker were all wahoo.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just trolling right outside of North Island. I mean, two cast lengths away, and catching wahoo.
As far as how much gear to bring, a lot of guys bring it all, and they don't rig it all up. Mm-hmm. They'll bring a bass rod in case someone coastal bass fishes, all the way to their heavy nighttime big gear. And they just don't rig them up. If we're not fishing bluefin at nighttime or doing they'll just leave the reels in the bag in their room and leave the rods bundled up. So I would say if you're a fishing aficionado and you like hanging out in the tackle shop with Rick, I would just say bring it all. You don't have to rig it all up.
Keep your gears bundled up top, put a rod cover on it.
Exactly.
The beauty of a boat like an American Angler's, there's always room where something can be up and out of the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, for sure. 833-288-0973. We're having a few technical problems with our text today, but we're getting a few, but not many. So best way to get through today, if you want to talk to Brian, 833-288-0973, and talk to Jeff, and Jeff will get you on the air.
Yeah.
All right. There's a few texts here, and there's one here, and it's from Alex and Santee. And Alex says that he's got lots of memories from Fred Hall Delmar's show from you, and some of the seminars that you used to do, and with Brandon Hayward and all that stuff. And are you still doing seminars?
Not really.
No.
Not really. There's so many of these younger kids that are way more knowledgeable on what number rods and reels and stuff like that. It's like that's kind of
I just want to do a seminar where we get to hear Brian talk about fishing on the Royal Polaris, with all the boys back in the day, and hearing of those 17-day trips and all the big tuna and all that stuff you experienced. I just want a seminar where you just get to go up and talk story, and we all get to hang out and have a cold one and enjoy one of those.
I've got a million.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite thing. Like
a million.
Yeah, lots of good stories.
And just that was such a fun era too. Like, you just look at all the guys that were on the boat, that were the guys that you worked with, that were just your buds, that you get to see now with your crew, and then you look at where everybody's at now. Everybody, that you worked with in those days that went on to have great careers in fishing, whether it be commercial or sport fishing, and they're the pillars of industry now. And all of you guys were just the buds that were stapling tags and throwing fish back then.
It was way more talk story, and a lot of the knowledge that we've gained over the years, obviously through experience and all that, but a lot of it is from hearing stories and folklore. And there's a lot less of that happening now, with Starlink and everything. It's like there's less times to talk story or just talk fishing stories or backwinds. Everyone's too busy on their phones.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. We got more of your phone calls. We'll be reading more text messages. We're also going to check in with the catch report, find out what's biting up and down the beach, and a whole lot more. You stay tuned. You're listening to Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook and YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
Have you been looking for a live bait hook that keeps live bait alive? Look no further than Japan's leading fish hook, Gamakatsu. It's the little things that make the difference, and Gamakatsu hooks drive the point home. With an absolute perfect bend and ideal barbs, your bait swims harder and longer. And when you get bit, Gamakatsu hooks bite back with a vengeance. All hooks are not the same. Go with Gamakatsu for infinite success. Gamakatsu, simply the best. Check gamakatsu.com.
For local or long-range fishing, we have you covered. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle, the saltwater tackle professionals. Being a part of the San Diego Sport Fishing Landing gives us a distinct advantage when it comes to getting you on the latest and hottest tackle for your trip. Our expert staff knows exactly what you need for your long-range or local trip, and we will not sell you something you don't need. We carry a huge inventory of the right tackle. So visit us at Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
Everything about Katmai Lodge is first rate, and it should be on the bucket list of everyone who enjoys fishing. This is Brandon Bono. My visit to Katmai Lodge is an experience I will never forget. Constructed on the banks of the Alagnak River in Katmai National Park, the lodge is a fishing dream come true. The experience is incomparable. Whether bait casting, spin, or fly fishing, you'll find king, sockeye, chum, coho, and pink salmon, plus trout, grayling, char, and dolly varden. Their guides are amazing. Days are exciting and fun with hot lunches and snacks served on the river. The brown bears, bald eagles, beaver, otters, and other wildlife you see is amazing. The lodge staff is great. There's complimentary wine, beer, and appetizers before a fantastic dinner every evening. Take it from me, a trip to Katmai Lodge should be on your list. For information, visit katmai.com or call 1-800-330-0326. Once again, that's Katmai Lodge, KATMAI.com.
This is Jeff Squires from One Cool Tuna and OCT Jigs. I've known Yusuf for over 15 years, and he is the expert when it comes to real estate. He has helped me sell my condo and helped me build a financial plan for my transition to the new area. He knows the answers to the hard questions that an average guy like myself doesn't understand. Yusuf not only is a fellow angler, but he's an amazing realtor that specializes in helping the angling community find their ultimate home. If you own a home, get a free, no obligation home evaluation now online from Yusuf by typing in SoCalHomeEval.com. All you do is put in your address and you'll get that report fast. Yusuf is the SoCal real estate go-to guy. He has helped me and my friends and family find what they are looking for in their new home. He understands the real estate market like no other, so take it from me, Yusuf is the best when it comes to your real estate needs. Go to SoCalHomeEval.com and we'll see you on the water.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning. Lots of fun going on, and
Boy, lots of great fishing as well, too. And speaking of great fishing, it's time to find out what's biting. It is time for our Catch Report, which today is sponsored by Norrisk Lithium. Power your boat with Norrisk. It's the ultimate choice for marine adventures. Norrisk delivers unmatched starting, trolling, and electronics power. Norrisk batteries are packed with cutting-edge technology. You can upgrade your marine power today and set up your system at NorriskLithium.com, or you can go see the trolling motor doctor. We got a man, Captain Brian Woolley from Dana Wharf Sport Fishing's on the line. Good morning, Woolley.
Hey, good morning, guys. Sunshine today. Gosh, it's beautiful out here right now. Huh? Finally, some solid weather here.
We'll take it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, for us, obviously, short week. You know, we did make it off the dock only a few days this week, the beginning of the week, and then yesterday. Half-day fishing, the guys had to find some decent water away from some of that, runoff and mixed up stuff that, seems to be pushing out of every creek on the beach here right now. So early in the week, the bass fishing was still pretty decent. We caught fish on the live baits near the surface, either straight fly line on a sardine or with a little sliding egg sinker. So it was good to see some of that at the beginning of the week. Obviously, things got mixed up. Yesterday was a little different story as things kind of started to settle out. They had to kind of poke around. They fished the sinker setups for whitefish, some sand bass, sculpin, and things like that. A little bit of sheephead still as well. It's going to take another couple days for that half-day zone to kind of get with it and settle out. 3/4 day, we fished the local rockfish zones yesterday. It just looked like there was a little bit of the wind potential in the forecast yesterday, so we didn't want to venture out to the bank, so we stayed on the beach. Nice mixed bags of rockfish for our anglers there. Boccaccio, reds, some real nice chilies for the coast. So we're starting to see some nice sculpins start to kind of push in. This is that time of year where that fish kind of comes out of that little bit deeper water and ends up on the hard bottom there. So we'll kind of keep tabs on some of that stuff. Also some nice whitefish and sand dabs mixed in there. Jig anglers yesterday, we had a little bit of uphill current, so they were able to fish some lighter jigs. 100 grams seemed to be the hot number for the guys that caught fish with their jigs in that shallower zone yesterday, so no problems with that. And then that was pretty much like our fish report for the week. I will remind everyone that tomorrow we have our Black Friday sale on our 3/4 day and half-day passes, online only. Go to danawharf.com, go to the gift certificates page, and it'll be up right there. It'll save you up to 30% on those half days and 3/4 days. You can buy up to 10 per angler, which would be a great deal. And then also something that we're rolling out on Friday nights are some open party hoop net trips. We've had a little bit of a demand, so we're going to put that online on Friday nights from 6 to 10 p.m. It's $150 per angler, up to 10 people, obviously, right? Max you can have there, and we'll go with a minimum of 6. So if that's something that you've been looking at doing or wanting to do and get out on the water, we will have that opportunity as, kind of demand fits. So those trips will be, again, from 6 to 10 p.m. Hoop nets provided, bait provided. Obviously, you need to have your lobster report card and your valid California fishing license with you when you get on the boat. So that'll be cool there. And then, holiday week approaching, the weather looks awesome this whole week. So reservations, you're going to want to make some reservations. People are going to have some free time, friends and family in town and whatnot. So I'd imagine we'll be pretty busy this week. So make those reservations. If you want to hop out on the trip with us this week, I'd imagine we'll get out to the 14 and just kind of get right back where we were before this little bit of a weather wrinkle rolled through this last week. So give us a call here, 949-496-5794. Of course, you can hit us on the web as well at danawharf.com.
What a fun report and good stuff going on with holiday time, and those lobster trips would just be such a fun deal at a Dana. A great way to spend an evening, and hopefully you get lucky, come back with some fresh lobster. Just a fun way to spend a night on the boat. Willie, well, a great report as always. Glad to hear it. So stoked we've got some good weather, and going to be fun to watch you guys get right back on that good cod that you've been experiencing before the storms kept us tied to the dock.
We're looking forward to it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
buddy.
Totally. Big time. And it was good to see the weather forecast, too, for the whole week. I didn't see any rain. So
you guys aren't fishing Thanksgiving Day, are you?
No, we're close Thanksgiving, but we're ready to go any other day this whole week. So
cool.
We're looking forward to getting back out there. So thanks, guys, for the time. Hope you guys all have a great Thanksgiving with yous and yours and family and whatnot. And we're going to do the same here, and we'll get back to it this next week.
Thanks,
for sure.
Willie.
You too, Captain Willie. So talk to you next Sunday. Appreciate that, and have a great
all right. Have a great week.
Thanks for all your reports. Appreciate that very much.
All right.
All right.
Hey, I had a fun text come through. It says, if you could teach a first-time long-range angler one skill before they stepped on the boat, what do you think the most important to be?
Casting.
That's
Casting.
Alec.
Casting, yeah, it's if you get comfortable fly lining a bait, that's the base to it all, and you can practice at your local park or wherever. But
that's a good call too, and one of the things those longer trips is being comfortable with the gear that's maybe not the same gear that you use every day. I mean, you might be a guy that loves calico bass fishing and you fish your tranks all the time, but then all of a sudden, if you're going to go down to the ridge and have a shot at a big tuna and you've got to fish a bigger reel, that's a great tip. You're using something that's a little different than what you're used to.
And it's one of those things too, getting to like what can you do beforehand. It's you could rig up all your outfits that you're bringing in your living room, string the line through the guides, tie them off to your local couch, and just pull on every single one.
Right.
And like whether it's be 40 pound, 80 pound, it's crazy how tight you can set your drag for the end of the fight. It's like you're not going to be able to break the line.
Yeah.
Pulling as hard as you
Just
can.
not going to happen.
And it gives you the point of no return.
Totally.
So if you want to prep before you get on the boat, those are some of the things I would do. But casting is the most important.
40-pound line is so difficult to break.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It feels like the rod's going to break and you're going to fall on your behind and the whole gig. But it also offers you, it gives you a good feel of how much horn you could put on that fish at the end of the fight.
And the amount of drag pressure that line and good tackle can take versus what most people, I would venture to say that probably a high percentage of people aren't fishing with nearly the amount of drag pressure that heavy line can handle. That doesn't mean that you need to and that it's right for every person, but I would bet that more times than not, the drag is probably a lot more loose than it could or potentially should be.
The number one is casting, though, because if I could give a gift to anyone, it'd be the gift of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
But that's gained individually on personal experience, and so if you become a little confident on casting and stuff like that, that's the biggest frustration I see in first timers.
That's great. That's a good answer.
Let's jump back on the phones.
You got it, buddy. How about we talk to Hills? And Hills has called us from Ventura this morning. Good morning, Hills. Thanks for joining us on Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, you guys.
Morning, Hills.
My question is about the difference, how hard of work it is for lobster fishing. A close family friend of ours is Greg Ewert, an old friend of Brian's and Sam's, and he sold Ventura Sport Fishing to Tucker, who's been doing real well in the Endeavor now. But Greg, when I see him, he's like, "Hey, have you seen Brian Kiyohara?" And he also says, "Hey, do you see Cameron?" And down there, and I haven't fished with Cameron yet. But in any case,
I'll call Greg today.
Greg works from 4 a.m. till 8 p.m. a lot of days on lobster, and then he spends half the year in Maui now. So I tried to get him to go on the Invader with us. He was in Maui. So in any case, what's harder work, sport fishing or lobster fishing?
It's I've never worked a day in my life, Hills. I couldn't tell you.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's just it's like
what's harder on your body, shall we say?
Like you, Hills, it's like you're always surf fishing, or I see you getting down on the boats down here in San Diego, or you fish all up and down the coast. I think for those of us sitting here in this office and everyone listening, it's just we love to fish.
Totally.
No matter if it's bluegill and a redworm, or fishing with a trap, or fishing with my customers on deck, it's
not work.
I love it. It's what I love to do growing up, and it's just I find myself very fortunate for being able to do it my whole life.
Yeah. Lobstering's hard work, though.
Yeah, it is. But once the gear's in the water, I would say lobster fishing. There's a lot of time in the backyard making gear and going through our gear, which is it's
tedious.
It's tedious, and it's a lot of man hours. But I would say there isn't. I think the hardest work, Hills, is dealing when conditions are tough and fishing's not good, and mentally staying in the game is the toughest.
Yeah, for lobster fishing and
sport fishing. Yeah, if it's not happening,
just
it's
focus
not happening.
on the stress of putting your 25 anglers on fish has got to be get to you sometimes.
Yeah, it's all of that. You know,
Yeah.
but now we're fortunate. They're all regulars, and we've all been to battles. With pretty much all the guys on the American Angler, we've seen it as good as it gets, and when it's not that good, it's like everyone realizes that it's
fishing.
Try your best.
I got to see, I think it was the last Ken's trip that you just went on, and I know that, like you said, those are so popular and hard, but it made me smile so much that all those guys, like, their trip was made that morning. Like, Steve, a good friend of theirs, like, surprised everybody and showing up, and a bud that they haven't seen in forever was on the trip, and it was all the guys. Like, I walked down to Point Loma Seafoods that morning to drop something off, and I saw everybody, like, standing around. Like, that trip was 100% made before you ever left. Like, everybody was so stoked to be there and hang out, and like I said, that's one of the funnest parts about long-range fishing. Sometimes you get to see a really good bud that you get to see one time a year. On that trip is when I get to catch up with...
The camaraderie.
Yeah, with Hills and Ventura. I only get to see him every year on our one trip that we go on together. It's cool. It's my favorite part about it.
Yeah, it's good stuff for sure. You want to get through? One line now open. Jeff is standing by, 833-288-0973. And John in Huntington Beach wants to know, what do you do to prepare when you're getting on the boat, the American Angler, for a trip? Do you look at Terrafin? Do you talk to other boats? What do you do?
Me and Ray call it doing homework.
And
it's just like now it's a lot easier than it was, with Starlink. Now you can just call the guys on scene on your phone from the couch. But yeah, Terrafin, all of that.
Yeah.
Weather, Terrafin, it's you just do your homework.
And now you can do it on the boat because, like you say, you have Starlink, and so you can do it on. You don't have to do it necessarily before you go.
So like Ray and I, we talk probably 10 times a day.
Yeah. Wow.
Rather than who's on the boat and who's not. And so it's like whether if Ray's sitting on a bluff in 5,000 feet in Arizona glassing for a buck, he still knows what's going on the ocean. And
cool.
If I'm out lobstering here locally, I still know what's going. It's because it's what, getting back to Hills, it's what we love to do.
That's
and
what
it's
you love to do.
Yeah, I could care less about what's going on soap opera wise or anything, but fishing is.
That's it.
That makes me stoked, man. Hey, when we come back, we got more Let's Talk Hookup. Another full hour Let's Talk Hookup coming your way here on the Let's Talk Hookup app, as well as Facebook and YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
Do you know why 1 million customers visited Summit Gasoline last year at the San Diego Sports Arena? Because they give you the lowest price on fuel. Great service and easy access, even for trucks and trailers at their 24 pumps. Summit is known for the best price on ice, too. Almost half the cost of any other vendor. 25 pounds for just $3.99. Martha and her crew love fishermen, and they'll prove it by giving you 100 pounds free with a 35-gallon fill-up. Summit offers over 40 snacks and drinks to choose from for only 89 cents. And even a line of hand creams and lip balms for 89 cents, too. Summit now proudly offers locally made burritos and sandwiches. Made fresh daily and ready to go wherever the current takes you. Summit just upgraded their car wash. And for a limited time, get a deluxe car wash for only $6. Grab the wife's car, grab a cheap sandwich, and make up for the day on the water. Summit Gasoline. Lowest prices, friendliest staff, easy access, and free ice. What more can you ask for?
The name that stands out among anglers is Fisherman's Landing, your top choice in local and long-range fishing. Our hardworking crew will make your fishing experience one to remember. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet is second to none. Fisherman's Landing is a full-service sport fishing operation offering great half-day trips on the Dolphin and full-day trips on the spacious and comfortable 85-foot Liberty. With bunks for your comfort, a huge bait capacity, and RSW fish holds to keep your catch fresh. Fisherman's Landing also boasts the best captains and crews in the business, from seasoned veterans to our young future legends. All our open party trips from half-day, full, or 1 to 3 day trips can be easily booked online at fishermanslanding.com or give us a call at 619-221-8500. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. Spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or fly-down, fly-back laid-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality, long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at RoyalStarSportFishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
Hey, this is Rosie with Cedro Sport Fishing. We have always been the leader with all-inclusive fishing trips to Cedros Island. We now have 2 lodges to choose from, and both sit on the cliff's edge with relaxing ocean views and gorgeous morning sunrises. With direct flights departing to the CBX in San Diego, we are committed to providing first-class service to our guests and an unforgettable fishing experience. Come check out the yellowtail and calico bass capital in the world. Nobody does it better than Cedro Sport Fishing. Call me at 619-772-7570 or check us out at cedrosportfishing.com. Book soon. Trips are going fast.